God, don't expect to come over here and find Hollywood. Don't expect it. Don't do that. We've had to fight the CIA who's blocked our money. You ain't got no goddamn money to take care of yourself. Who paid that $25,000 that's going to go out for that child that was suffering enormous? If it hadn't been for the power of whatever I have in the paranormal, the child would have died, or like Rose, and everything comes in sets of threes. She was paralyzed too this week with a total massive hemorrhage in her brain from that horrible fall after falling down. And who pays? Who pays for all that airplane and pays all the way and gets a neurologist to meet to the airport and one to come from out of the country if necessary and then on to Cuba for special surgery? That's what I'm talking about. It can be $25,000. Now what the fuck is important to you? Is it important to you that you eat every goddamn thing you want, or you have your Pepsi Cola, or you have your little creature comforts, or is it really important that your children are taken care of in their hour of need? Now what the fuck is important to you? Bitch. And all the shit that goes on comes through here. They've all been in about you people. It comes through every train that comes through. There's some people that carry on like horses' asses. We hear about it. Jonestown lets us know. They let us all know. I don't have to be a prophet to know the bullshit that comes rolling through here. But a lot of people come, black, worked all their life, poor whites, worked all their life and given and sacrificed, never make a complaint. Are so grateful they'll get down, touch the soil and kiss it. The only reason you got problems is because you give yourself time for problems. The conditions of mind are the whole center of the situation. If you get the right attitude, your health will straighten up. Everything will straighten up. Everything will harmonize. If you don't have a right attitude, nothing will go straight. And we'll be very deliberate. I don't raise my voice that many times, but I'm pissed at some of the shit coming in here. I'm pissed at it. I'm horrified that some people never remember me long enough that they get no sooner out of the goddamn country, and I get out of the country rather, and we start some kind of new horse shit. I don't understand it. I forgive and forget and reconcile and reach out to your loved ones I don't even know, and you still carry on. I go down and pick you up after you've gone out from the movement. I want to ask you, Paul, right off, what the hell do you come over here? You come over, you got a wife over here. I want to ask you, I'm talking to you. Why you got a woman pregnant that's pestering our damn church already, pestering our church and threatening over you? Why couldn't you wait long enough? Your wife wasn't here just a few days before you.
Well, Father, well, it's here.
Goddamn men, I don't know why the women don't all declare Amazonas and lesbianism and forget it. It's ridiculous. You don't know anything about this? You don't know anything about the papers she served and all this shit and hounding and calling San Francisco, and you don't know any woman you got pregnant?
Father,
come on, you fuck some woman sits.
Okay. Well, I knew
don't
a woman, Father,
don't play shit with me. I got an armed guard around here.
And you will get fucked up. You will get fucked up.
Yes, pregnant.
I know this woman, Father, but she's not pregnant for me, Father. She have a comrade of her own.
She had a comrade of her own.
Yes, sir.
The thing is, are you prepared, my friend, to take a sperm test to prove it's not your child?
Father, I think I am.
You think you are?
Yes, sir.
In other words, you fucked her.
Yes, I had sex, Father.
And why is she claiming it's your baby? Why don't you get her comrade of her own? Why is she pestering the hell out of us? Why is she after your ass?
I don't know, Father.
She claims you're her fiancé, pestering the hell out of us.
I'm not, Father. I came home. I didn't want to be there with them.
You came home, and good. I'm glad. And I gave you every opportunity to reach down when the Ku Klux Klan was pressing on all of you and brought you. But why in the hell did you have to take up that woman? You were living with that woman.
No, Father, I didn't live with that woman.
Well, what is she bothering our church for?
I don't know, Father. I lived with my mom, my so-called mom, when I was down home. I never lived with her.
How'd she know anything about the church? Yeah, how'd she get to us? Tell me that. How'd she figure out where you were?
Well, I talked to her, and I told her I was going to meet my father, and I told her that I was leaving there and I wasn't coming back there anymore. And that's all it was, Father. I don't know how she got the phone from San Francisco. I just told her I belonged to People's Temple.
That's nice of you. That's real nice of you.
You always come up with your bullshit.
Why did you do that for? You think that you're going to lay with these women? They ain't going to nail you?
No, Father.
Now it's nailing us.
Father, I didn't even know this was going on, Father.
Well, if you men you had any brains in your head instead of your dick, you'd know that when you're going to tell a woman, I'm leaving, you've been fucking her. You're fucking her, weren't you?
Yeah, I had sex with her, Father.
That's fucking. That's called F-U-C-K, fuck. Jesus Christ. Don't talk about no nonsense and foolishness. Now, what do you think you're going to tell her? Bye-bye, darling, I'm leaving, and she's not going to do some shit to you? You people believe in love that much? You're going to have to get educated over here.
Yes, Father.
Yes, Dad, it is.
Why'd you tell her where you were going? Why did you tell her where you were going?
Why did I tell her?
Yeah, it's a good question. Very sensible question. Why did you tell her where you're going, Paul?
Father, I mean, Dad.
Wow.
Wow.
Whoa.
I must have wasn't thinking, Father. I mean,
But we're in a new day here. Look, sucker, you're gonna get your shit straight right now. Don't come up here lollygagging about you don't know, I don't know. Take your finger out your butt and start talking some straight shit, because we already know from the jump. You see, you thought the woman was dumb, but you tell her that she's at People's Temple, then that casts the shit on us, so we got to pay for your fucking around. So get straight right now from the jump.
What did you want from her? Right, good pointed jive talk. What did you want from her that you told her how to get you? Now, don't play with me, because I know life. What did you want from her that you told her how to get a hold of you? Because you didn't want her to get something from you, I'm sure. No man, there's an old story, love them and leave them. So what did you want from her that you told her how to get, for her to reach you? Driving us crazy.
Father, I mean, Dad.
I don't care if you call me Father, Dad, Jim, but whatever. I am interested in answers, straight answers. I want to get off the straight record. What was your behavior in Georgetown?
I did whatever was necessary, Dad. I worked and whatever. I even look around.
No, you didn't give no trouble in Georgetown. Not a word, not a speck.
No, Dad, not. I just want to come here today, Dad. That's all. I didn't give anybody else no trouble. That.
Come on, chap.
What do you consider?
You're on the airplane when the boat's coming tomorrow, and nobody in Georgetown sends anybody on the airplane unless they're sick or seniors are causing us trouble. Now, would you like to tell us what kind of trouble you caused us?
Well, Dad, all I asked to do, Dad, is come over here today.
You asked to come. Now, come on. Now, let's get to clear. You, in other words, you demand you want to come over here today.
No, I didn't demand that. I asked. You
asked.
Yes, I said I want to get away from Georgetown because it reminded me too much about the state.
Well, thank you. All 70 or 80 of our folk who want to be there. They didn't want to go in there to entertain. They don't like cities. It reminds them socialism is a process of evolution. It doesn't take place overnight. This goddamn country, we've had to fight when they pulled them out. The trickery of Washington pulled the leaders out of this country and left one bastard here. We hope will be gone to Washington before too long and got out of here, formally dismissed, but I can't talk about some things I've been told. But he was the prime minister acting, and we were besieged. They tried to take this goddamn country over to get us.
Yes,
and for 6 fucking goddamn nights and 7 days, we defended this place with our bodies while some of you people were fucking around. We defended this place. While you people were moaning and groaning in your own stew and shit you create for yourself, we were shedding our blood. 91-year-old folk out there with cutlass in hand and guns in hand, cannons in hand, flamethrowers in hand, and other things in hand, ready to die. And we won this land by driving them out of here. Since then, they've toughened up the border, and Guyana realized it's not a picnic. The socialists, we showed them the conspiracy. It reaches all the way up to the Senator Stennis, head of the Armed Services Committee, when we took him on over that black mayor. It all started back there, and us being socialist on top of it, and having the principle to stand up for somebody. That's where the whole shit started. Right after that, that's when the shit started. Hit the fan immediately. They had a meeting, and the conspiracy's been working ever since. And they've tried every goddamn thing. Now kidnapping's their bait. The ambassador here's got a little bit of principles. Holy, there's light out there. That flashlight, who's roaming out there? Okay. Yeah, the road make we forget how it bends and curves and goes around back of us. All right. What was I saying? Don't worry, they won't get in here. There ain't no goddamn way they're going to get in here. We got too much to keep them from getting in here. But I just want something to understand. You got to abide by our principles. Everybody got to stay here till we get everybody here. We let folk go, and they caused trouble. They turned traitor. Tim Stone was going back to try to clear up all of our names and crying and tears, and they threatened him a few months in jail, and the son of a bitch is now he conspired with 2 San Francisco policemen. We got the whole thing laid out and murdered Chris Lewis. Him and Myrtle and all the rest of our stinking families. I named just a few of them.
You're talking about how they threaten to kidnap now, Dad.
Yeah, how they threatened to kidnap. And the foreign minister told us about it originally, and then the ambassador of the U.S. said they even had got a hold of him, trying to get him to sneak. The U.S. would help him sneak in with some kind of a plane. So the Guyanese Socialist Guyana Defense Force wouldn't see them. Well, he told us about it. He said, by God, there are some things he can't even tolerate. And he told us about it. We seen him here. We seen him here. They were here. They shot at us, what was it, 2 days ago. So, goddamn them, let them come back. They've been before. We got a Black Panther out there that got one of them. We got tigers out there. We got snakes out here. They don't come in here, but you get one bite of the son of a bitch if you go out in the jungle. And you can last about 20 minutes, or you can slowly be paralyzed and die about 3 days later. And there's tigers out there all around. You can see them at night. Our guards see them all the time. Everybody else sees them. They come here, but there's something miraculous. They don't bother us. They don't come inside. Nobody comes in. We never had a snake bite. Hell, you couldn't have this many people living together in one community in California. You'd never find that many without somebody getting a snake bite. And we are going to stay put. We're going to behave our goddamn self. We're not saving nobody back. We have a legitimate government here. Town forum, we decide things. We're right now criticizing points. Some disagreeing with me on music. And that's everyone's prerogative. But there are some basic things we don't do. We don't make demands we're going to get on a fucking airplane when we got certain people that should have been on the airplane. We don't tell some damn woman, floozy outside the movement, how to get a hold of us and pester us to death. Paul, you ought to come over here humble. Your wife she wasn't no more than a few days ahead of you. And you stay out of trouble that long?
Yes, Dad.
Well, why did you do that shit? Why did you tell her where she could reach you?
I didn't tell her that where she can reach me. I told her that
you were a member of People's Temple, so you know.
Yes, but she must have got the information from my mom or somebody like that about the phone number. I didn't tell anybody nothing about the phone number.
Why did you tell you was going, goddammit? You told her you were in People's Temple.
Yes, I told her in People's Temple, Father.
Okay. Why did you tell her? What were you trying to impress her for?
I told her I belong to People's Temple organization, and that's the only way I can find freedom, and I want to be over here with my people. And I just explained it to her.
Well, then you laid her right to our door. That's how we're getting the phone calls in Georgetown.
Yes, Father.
Now, you think a woman would be after your ass? I know the CIA pays everything on the soul. They're going to charge you with some kind of charge. You're going to be charged. You won't have to worry about going back because you're going to be charged for some shit. I don't know what it is. I'll know more about it when we get through the radio. But I understand that, son. But what I'm saying is, why is this woman after you? I don't know how the conspiracy could reach down and pick up somebody in Louisiana. I'd rather you just laid it out plain and square with us. And get honest, because we'll find it out sooner or later anyway.
That's right.
Damn woman will do a sperm test. She'll determine who's the father of the child. I mean, she'll do a blood test and rule out the one, and then it'll be you left. Now, is there a possibility that it's your child?
Dad, it could be there's a possibility. I had sex with her, Dad, and
okay. Then why did you not say that?
Well, Dad, when Roletta and I was down in Louisiana together, we had some problems, and you know, she was associating with other guys, and
We're talking about you right now. We're talking about you.
Okay, she was associating with other guys, but then none of them pregnant. They ain't bothering me.
yes, Dad, I noticed. I know it.
Well, don't come from this shit.
It is a big price to pay, Dad.
Now you nailed her. You got her fucking, and that's the typical capitalist tradition. Got a nail and a nail. That's a love. You people are in love. I tell you, leave me out of it. For Christ's sake, leave me out of it. You blamed her for all of your problems. She's responsible for the world's problems now. She fucked around with some men. Is that the reason you fucked around with women? Is that what you're saying? That's what you were getting ready to say. You're getting ready to lay it right at her door. It's called People's Temple Dodgeball. We don't play dodgeball over here anymore.
How about this? You thought maybe if things didn't go well in Guyana, that you'd have somebody to come back to in the States. You'd have a little nest back there. How about that?
No way I want to go back to the United States.
Well, I know now, but isn't there an element of truth? Why would you give her so much information about your life? You don't fuck by international telephone.
I understand that, Father.
Don't fuck as a crow flies, and there's never been a fuck that reached across an ocean.
That's right, Father.
So what were you doing?
I mean, I was actually messing around, Father.
Well, I understand that. I understand that, and I'm sure you weren't thinking taking care of men. Don't do that. I've been the only one that I've noted that fights so hard on that subject. You take care of a child, whether I hated the woman or not, when I was trying to save this entire movement. I don't notice men going out of their way fighting too much about their kids. So you weren't trying to keep a line open to save the child, so what were you trying to do? Because you're denying the child. First breath, you denied the child. Now you say it's possible it's your child.
Father, I mean, she have a kind right. I don't see how she can say it's my kid, you know?
All right, so all right, that proves the point that much more. What in the hell did you give her so much information about yourself for? Is he not bordering on the closeness of truth that you wanted, just in case things didn't work out, you wanted a place a pad to go back to?
Well, Father, I don't want to go back to that country.
All right. You're here. You've seen it. If you're black and got any sense, even if you're white, you should have some sense and see it. But black person ought to be able to immediately figure out they don't want to go back. All this land, all this opportunity, Jesus Christ. Go in the jungle and they couldn't find us. 5,000 miles of jungles. They come after us with battalions, and they ain't got no battalions. And they sure as hell better not parachute in. Right. The only way they can get in here is by helicopter, and I can tell you the fucker will land hard. Because it won't. The minute it starts down, it'll come down heavy. Ain't nothing coming in here we don't want in here. I can assure you that. So don't rest with worry about somebody getting you in your sleep.
Well, I wish you would talk, because a lot of us don't want to be sitting here listening to your bullshit anyway.
This is not a regular meeting night. It's called a trouble meeting night. We're called for trouble. We have 2 meetings a week, and that's what the hell we'd like to have, so we can have some peace. As a movie's supposed to be, as refreshments, start serving the refreshments, serve them out. We try to keep some humanity in the middle of a warfare. But as obviously, as you know, Cuba was surrounded for 10 years. We got no reason to complain. We're surrounded with a few enemies. Show shit. Cuba was surrounded, and they had the CIA put seeds in their clouds and drowned their crops and bombed them. Ah, fuck it. Well, of a bitch.
Somebody's sitting on the plug or something.
Please. Now, Marston and I was in Cuba when they bombing children every day and night. The United States denied it was happening. So we got no complaints. Cuba went through that for 10 years. Angolan people have been going through it. They won their liberation. Ethiopian people just fighting every day for their freedom. So we got no complaint that we have a few excursions now and then. But I try to make it hospitable as possible. I said tonight I guess it's cake. We try to have movies and things, and we want music. And we never did decide the thing of music. But I deal with one issue that I don't like what I see in this place. I'm going to be frank with you. I'll live with you. I don't like this fucking attitude that, by God, we got to take the world as it is. We can't change it. That's what I hear out of some of you people so much. Got to take the world. Can't change it. Can't find good music because everybody's a fucker. Can't find good literature because ain't nobody that writes its principle. What I really think you want to say, excuse my feeling, it may be wrong. I think you want to say is, I want to justify what the fuck I want to do by saying that I cannot find enough people like Victor Haar. And I'm saying if you were really principled, and Victor Haar is the only man that was tortured in a concentration camp, then night, noon, and day, that's all the fuck you'd ever hear was Victor Haar. I know that wouldn't go over very well, but that's my feeling. I ain't gonna compromise with this liberal bourgeois shit. I don't care where it comes from. You may get by with it in terms of voting legislation. I'll give you the prerogative because I don't like leadership anyway. I'll lead to protect. Although the only reason I get indignant, I wonder how much you let this bourgeois shit parade itself. It doesn't encourage others. You got to be awful careful about dissent. Dissent better be over something mighty crucial. Mighty crucial. Start some shit on music and get in a tirade tonight about all that bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? Come up with some creative ideas. If you have ideas on music, think about it and put them up so we can play them. Make your request. We played whoever named. Yeah, Paul Robeson. By God, yeah. He died believing what he stood for. Black, classical. Yeah, I'm sure it didn't all the jazz mataz, but beautiful music. Now, I disagreed with Christine totally. I disagreed with Christine Lucianis totally. But I think she's on the side of our anarchists sometimes for anarchists' sake, and it goes to some things I need to clear out of my soul with her. Because she takes her anarchistic little patterns and does her little trips. And little trips that people report to me that I don't like. Because you've grown a million links, but had to do with your right to take things that don't belong to you and justify it. And I don't buy that kind of shit. If everybody did that, the whole organization would be up a fucking creek, a ship without a goddamn paddle. But there's a certain anarchists say, well, just because they're in Cuba, they're communists. I don't mean they're communists. Well, it's better than living in the United States, because all they have to do is to ask to get out of Cuba, and Castro will send them to Miami. And the United States like to make points. They like to show because people are leaving the United States. A lot of people are leaving the United States. So they like to make points by taking in a bunch of fascists. I disagree with this. I want to lay it out just very clearly where I disagree. The other night, I didn't know. What I'm really pissed at Christine about is that they got back to the gossip train. He said, I knew that's what Dad would do next, is take away the music. I'm talking to her. I'm laying it out. I'll find her. I like to clear things off my chest. Who wants to know what about serving what?
I want to serve everybody one slice of cake, and those on snacks and praises get a slice of cinnamon bread.
Everybody wants to, okay, the ones that got praises gets another slice of cinnamon bread. That's fine. So if you got praise, be sure to take their name down before they get it.
Question.
Yes, Mother.
I'd like to know, young man, what connection did you have with the United States out of Georgetown that you got in such a hurry to get to Jonestown?
You better answer it right.
The only connection I had is to getting out of that country because I want to be here.
No, she's talking about George.
What's that?
There's no connection in Georgetown I had to get out of Georgetown. I just want to be here, that's all.
You don't understand me. Did you phone the United States from Georgetown, or what made you get in such a hurry to get out of Georgetown to get here?
No, I did not phone the United States from Georgetown.
That's Why couldn't you wait on the boat?
Miss Moms Mabley, this Moms Mabley, who in there was one of our best performers in her 70s, and you took her airplane seat that she could have taken. Black woman in his 70s.
No, I'm not proud of myself. I really feel like my head is in my butt.
Dad, when he was in Louisiana, he was always talking about how he had some woman that liked him a lot, and she had carpet on his floor, and she had a car, and I wasn't acting right. And the reason why I wasn't acting right, because he was always asked from the very beginning. And I had to get out there, whole around, to feed my baby because he couldn't do a job. Now, you explain that to Dad.
Yes, Dad. I stopped my job because I was supposed to leave on the 20th.
Don't tell me no shit. You had to stop your job. You was working. Too busy. He was too busy running after his brothers and them. None of them's no good. They all do the same thing. He's so busy trying to run after them. I try to tell him and straighten him out. Tell him that, you know, at the time he was calling you father this and father that, you know, examples. He don't want to listen to nobody.
That's true, Father. That's true.
You're going to listen now because you're in Jonestown.
That's true.
And you...
My quarrel with you, Christine, is this: that you made comments to others that you knew, the next thing, you knew that I was going to take all these tape recorders away from people.
I believe I wrote you a note that I told.
No, I didn't hear no note. I didn't hear no shit note. I got it secondhand, which I didn't like that. Unless somebody took your note and didn't pass it on.
I wrote you a note that I had, right before Paula had left. I said, I knew it. Our last diversion. Pardon? No, I don't think in any way I'm a prophet. I shouldn't have said that, and I wrote you a note saying that it was out of line. And as far as that goes, I didn't
read that.
I can do without music. I could be in prison right now and not have music, not have books. I could be dead, and it's all right. You know, it's just, I happen to like it, but I can do without it. And I can go to prison, just as well be in prison, and...
Well, nobody...
Huh? I don't have a tape recorder. I was using one. It got turned in. There's no tape recorder accessible.
Well, there's shit going around. Better clear you, because you're in an important coordinating role. That you take people's clothes. Are you doing that?
No, I'm wearing Daisy's dress, but she let me borrow it.
Okay, that's all right. I believe in clearing that. That wasn't to hurt you. That was to help you. The other was for me. I like to get shit off. I don't like this shit that you guys do to me, backbiting me and saying, well, you haven't had this, you haven't had this. You don't know how much I haven't had. Right. And I was young like you one day. And a long, long life. A long goddamn life since I was 17 and felt constrained to have to be a communist. I didn't always want to do what I had to do. But I felt that that was my moral obligation. And I know that you have resentments. A lot of young people go through. You've grown up in the church. You got these goddamn resentments. But you got to look at it too. There's love out there. There's sexual companionship. If people feel that illusion, it's in this movement. You know, it can be had. You've been more disciplined than most in that area. You sure have not been run around by your ass. But whatever you feel you're missing, I don't know what you think you miss. I've heard that comment. I've heard that comment.
I have not said that in quite a while.
Good. Okay. Well, we won't review cold shit. Nobody has anything to say about any clothing been taken by this woman. I want shit laid to rest on that stuff. Because we come down heavy on these. If somebody borrows clothes, that's the business of people. And as long as you take care of each other's, that's your own mutual consent. But we should not, and well, it should not. Hell, we coming down heavy on it. Don't do no stealing. Don't do no stealing. We had a lot of it going on here, and little things, little shit, because we've just been conditioned to do it. But we cannot have it. We've got to all share and share alike. We're going through what Cuba called the austerity stage. And you can develop a war psychosis, as Fidel said. And they lost nearly 40% of their productive capacity because they were so busy defending themselves. And we will. They have to defend ourselves. Another thing was that I heard from you, Jerry Parks, that you didn't like food. They had to get special food for you. And I'll get this shit out of the way because we're not running a delicatessen.
Come on up, buddy.
I didn't tell anyone that I didn't like it. It was
well. I heard, and I was getting your child, and getting a handicapped young man with no income at all because you people had interest in him. I don't know him from jack shit. And I heard that you said you were not going to have to. You were going to have to come out here and try to test this place out for your child coming there already on the way. Did you make that comment?
No, I didn't say I was going to test it. I said I would rather they would wait until we come on because I didn't know whether he would be able to take
He'd be able to what?
But
that's not the way I heard it. I want to get this goddamn stuff straight. That's not the way I heard it. I'm finished with you. That clears it. You haven't taken nothing. Nobody stood up to say it.
The thing is, Jerry, the impression given was that you were going to check this place out, test it, check it out, whatever. You were going to see how it was before you...
That's what come across the radio to me, and that pissed me off. Here, I'm taking an epileptic young man out of you for your daughter's sake, and if you've got a chance, your child growing up in the States, sure as hell they'll become a drug addict, white or black. We hear these people all night. I'm on the radio building friends, trying to get money because a goddamn conspiracy has cut off Social Security, cut off our mail, blocked our goddamn mail, drag out. You got to make a, Sean, don't forget, you got to see about that phone patch you got to make. People don't get their goddamn mail. And they intercept the mail. We've got the stamp. They wouldn't let any mail get into Guyana. They don't let our mail get out. To try to cause disruption between people and their relatives or their businesses. And some fool told them where we're all at. Always tell them where we're all at so I get all your bills. Have to fight with your goddamn bills. It's not right. You should have left your bills behind and I should never had to struggle with worrying about paying people's bills over here. I'll be goddamn, people don't give their forwarding address. And part of it was a mistake on secretarial instruction. They made a fuck-ass stupid mistake. Nobody should have ever told anybody where the hell you're going. We'd have had a lot less trouble.
Right.
Particularly, you didn't need to tell no goddamn businesses, so we get piles of bills every month.
Right.
But now somebody said that. Now you know, and by the way, we have one firm law that whether they don't know anything about it, the relative stands with their relatives, and we do that to break up the cover-ass syndrome, the cover-ass syndrome that goes on with families. And there's a cover-ass syndrome that goes on with families. That's the only thing I don't like about it. That's why I think Lenin had a point when he said have arrangements to fuck and don't get in sick alliances, because the only alliance you should have is to the revolution. And we have we are not doing that. We won't break up your family structure. We don't make nobody share their nookie with anybody. You can have your nookie until you want to, die with it. I don't give a goddamn. If you're new and now you two are married, you don't dare fool nobody else. You don't get no divorce unless it's approved by town farm.
Yes, Dad.
You can fuck each other upside down through your eyeballs. I don't give a shit. But you don't break ranks and break the union up, because it causes too much fucking confusion. Maybe one day there'll be some other methodology. Maybe it'll be everybody free love. I don't know. But I'm afraid it wouldn't be very free, because it'd always be somebody left out. Because people don't look at soul, or they don't look at character. They're always looking at body.
Right.
And so somebody be left out sure as hell.
Right.
Yeah, you may explain your position. I'd like very much for you to explain your position because it pissed the hell out of me.
Asked no one for no special food, but the food that they had prepared was so highly seasoned, so hot, and I cannot, no way can I eat that kind of food. I did not ask for anything different. I just said that I
Well,
couldn't
we
eat
have
it.
diets without seasoning, but you didn't ask. Then you didn't ask for special foods. We were told over the radio that they had to go get you special foods. Everything's made a report. They don't make it to hurt nobody. They make reports every day. Just make the reports of what goes on. You have to have that because we are under, as I said, a state of emergency. We are under a state of emergency. So this place is tightened up. It was nice. You could flow in here and walk around, stroll around. No, we didn't used to have these problems. We didn't have to go through people's things and go through body searches. It's the first fucking week we ever went through body searches in our life. But now, I mean, since, you know, the temple, we did it, but now it's getting close. You got somebody out there wants to play a little mischief, so we want to be sure that nobody in here with a little microphone. And if that fucker shows up again and wants to get a shootout, and he'll go down, because the last one we carried him out, delivered him to Reb Edwards, and he took care of him.
That's right. That's right.
He and Dr. Shack, they make a hell of a scalpel.
Right.
And a remarkable beef stew.
That's right.
And your stomach trouble will get cured after you're in a war, or after a while. A little CIA shit here, a little CIA shit there. No, I don't mind if you got a highly seasoned reactions, and probably all medicines, all sicknesses are hypochondria. We're finding that most of the things we've cured up over here, if you give us some time with it, all stress, cancer even, begins in mind. But we have diet areas that where a person doesn't have seasoning and special diets. That's a different thing. I know you had some abdominal distress and surgery potential, but what bothered me more than that was that it was definitely stated that you said that you were going to come and check the place out in so many words before your daughter was coming in here. I've got them already on the goddamn way. Plus a man that I don't know, and I got to pay all that Dilantin, and that's a hell of a bill, because Dilantin has to be transported from the Soviet Union.
We have already bought his year's supply.
Well, that's good. That's thoughtful. That's thoughtful. I appreciate that. But still, he is a sick man without income. I don't know him, and I did that out of concern for you and your daughter.
Is why we made that statement after we got here. We wasn't sure maybe that we should not come on ahead.
If you're worried about him staying, he will stay when he gets here. He won't have any problem about that.
That's right.
He'll adjust. He'll adjust to the situation. And the only other thing you can do is either adjust or walk to the jungle, and it's meet snakes, panthers, and all that shit if one wants to do that, and guns, and be arrested by the police and put into a federal penitentiary. He'll have no problem adjusting. What were you worried about? What were you worried about?
I forget what the last statement now was I made to you. But anyhow, John Brown is the one that made the overture to me when we were discussing it. He says, Jerry, why don't you, instead of having them come on ahead, we thought we should come on here and see how things went.
Well,
and John Brown made the overture to me.
Did you tell that to anybody else? Johnny's doing that intelligently and sincerely, probably. Before, what did he say? What did he say to you exactly? John Jones. I legally adopted him.
I'm sorry.
That's no problem. Just correcting.
He said, why don't you go on to Jonestown and see how you like it, and then contact them and have them to come over. That's exactly the words that were spoken to me, was it not?
Well, I don't know. I don't remember exactly. We did say something about this boy adjusting. Not just the boy, my daughter too. And we was really sorry that we had even brought him into this before we left the States. What I'm talking about is he's kind of hyper, and Yeah, he'll probably work out better than maybe I would.
He's a fine worker. He's a good worker.
Everybody works out when they get... What's that?
He was fired from his job because of epilepsy, which they now have under control with this third drug they've added.
Well, that's what touched me, handicap. Everybody treated like a nigger that's got handicaps. What the hell's going on out there? If you got something to say, what? I don't know how you eat your cake and talk too. It costs a hell of a lot of money, so can't you be quiet? It costs a lot of money to give people these refreshments every weekend. Candy. You don't know that shit. Chicken dinner, last Sunday chicken dinner, $4,200 to feed this family. Now, it takes an education. It takes an education, Pat. It takes an education to adjust. You got to come to what we teach as zero. A zero. You got to realize that 2 out of 3 babies are going to bed hungry. You got to think about the bloody things. Will you shut up, please? The bloody things that all our tax dollars have done to murder people, like this great singer that was on here, and torture them. Then you will adjust because you realize you have no reason to complain when 2 out of 3 babies are going to bed hungry. I would bet Christine's right. A man like that will get the message. It isn't that tough. You guys are into a war here tonight. We don't normally have this kind of greeting. It's not the way we greet people. We have a party, a dance, and so forth, or orchestration. We're in a war. They tell us to be very careful if everybody comes in here now, because we have an absolute. Informer has stepped forward, told us the plans of Stone, told us the implication of involvement in the murder, and there's several of them involved in it. Mrs. Myrtle, Grace Stone, and lots of things been told I'm not going to go into at this point, but we have proof. The person didn't like us because I'd used religion and they didn't believe in God and I was a Marxist, and they left us. And they got wrapped up in this conspiracy, but they saw what the hell was going on. And if they wanted to kidnap John, who came out of the fact that you all know that story. You've all been educated to that, haven't you? You surely have in San Francisco. They've all told you about that. Because I told everybody to be told that before they come here. So you can understand what it means to become all things to all men. Any mean you can save them all, or all women, or whatever. Anyhow, now please be quiet. I don't enjoy orientation, but you had to have your time. Now, what was we talking about? Listen, Sat, will you march through here with your guns? And stop this shit. I'm tired of this talk. It's distracted me, and I haven't had any sleep for some days now. Being I was up all day and all night on that goddamn radio because the FCC is trying to crush us. When you think how bitter, and you'll see how mean they are. You watch them, you'll see how mean they are. You saw how mean they come around here and tried to kill old people. They didn't care who they tried to shoot. They didn't care what they did. Take old people's checks. Social Security stopped all of our checks. May do it again. President Carter's in trouble since you left. The FBI has put him under investigation because he spoke out for African, not because he wanted to, but because he felt the Russians and Cubans were going to take over Africa because they're helping all of the liberation struggles. They're the true heroes of the people. And now he went home, and as soon as he gets home, he's up for an FBI investigation because he supposed to be covering for one of his own congressmen who run an investigation by the Republican district attorney, federal district attorney of Philadelphia, and he fired him like every president does. They always fire every appointee of the previous administration, put new ones in. That's just law of life. And the BBC made the bitter, biting comment that they think that it's because he is not going along with the right wing in the country, the strong right wing in the country that wants to have a nuclear showdown. They're putting the military, against his instructions, says he, have placed neutron bombs all over Europe. So he ain't got no choice because America, his ass is going to be wiped out. So one adjusts to life, and you think about your child. How's your child going around if she lived with radiation, blind from radiation poisoning? Today I brought out on the news, they put several thousands of American U.S. soldiers right in a radiation center to test what to do to their bodies, and how many of them had already developed cancer. 50 of them, I think. 50 of them had developed cancer, definitely from that radiation, and they didn't know how many more thousands were going to. Lousy bunch of pricks. Experiment with germ warfare right in the cities, or the subways of New York, wasn't it? The subways of New York and the freeways of Pennsylvania, they don't give a goddamn. They don't give a goddamn about people. The United States doesn't care about people. Nobody but a capitalist country would build a neutron bomb that destroys people and all living things and only won't even touch a piece of paper. Paper won't be moved off the table. Nobody but the capitalists would think of that kind of a wicked weapon. Well, something's going on strange in the United States because he's been given a subpoena for a hearing. And hell, we have to give our bodies like I did. I don't know, but we'll live. Out there is plenty of land, and there's wild hog, and wild bush cow, and big fish. I hope some people fish when that boat get in. Who was that sister brought in 40 pounds, that tasty fish. Of course, we'll have 4,000 some pounds of fish coming in on a boat. But you'll adjust when you stop to think that 2 out of 3 babies went to bed hungry from the tax dollars you were earning. That portion of the 18-20% of your taxes was going to pay the CIA to murder people all over the world. CIA today implicated in Cambodia, and implicated today Cuba. The radio Cuba talked about torturing, what was it, school children in Rhodesia, Zimbabwe, taking them and torturing them to try to break the Patriotic Front. They went into a sector where the Patriotic Front, the revolutionary government of Zimbabwe that's resisting that horrible white dictator in Rhodesia, and they took over all the school where these army people were putting their children and tortured every one of them in it, USIA, through USIA cooperation. You don't get any news until you get a hold of Cuba, and you can't hardly hear it because they jam the son of a bitch. I tried to put it over the radio, so I have to be the newscaster because they'll jam the news. They won't let you get the news. And then you read it in the San Francisco Chronicle before you left. A colonel and a major in the U.S. Army over there under the pay of U.S. in Rhodesia beat a little black baby senseless, 6 years of age, and made her take a wire and put around the chief of the tribe, put the wire around his penis and balls and pulled them off. That's inhumanity. It's so diabolical it makes your stomach revolt. And then the man died for 3 days laying in that agony. What's going to happen to that little baby left alive? And they left her alive to face the torturous problems of her conscience after that. What could a 6-year-old do? And you stop to think about what your money did and what your comforts did. Every time you bought a McDonald's hamburger, a portion of it went to war and CIA murder. Every time you went to a movie, every time you lifted up your fucking telephone. What is it? How much of the telephone bill? I've forgotten. How much of the telephone bill goes to warfare? What? 10%. Thank you. 10%. Every time you pay a bill. Dial a telephone, all your pay telephones, there's really high on the pay telephones. Much of that goes to war. So you get adjusted. It'll be time, and we're patient. But everybody can understand this shit. You don't check us out. Christ, we let people do that, and they went back and lied. Mrs. Williams, I want to go back and make money. I've got my time, and I'll go back and make money. And just cried how much I love you, Father, and you saved me from cancer, and you healed my husband, raised you from the dead. Yeah. She went back, and I don't know who twisted her thumb, but hell, she's been a mean enemy. We got the Olivers, and they're trying to kidnap their child. Tried to kidnap them, taking blood white money to murder. Sons of bitches. And Tim Stone finally, from crying and wanting to clear up all of our records, he's now back there. He asked for the death of Chris Lewis. We got the proof of it. He and Myrtle and Grace. And I don't know who else, but I know that much about it. Won't know the rest till they get into that case and see some of it that you carried in here. I guess you carried it in. I guess they're looking at that case. That's a hell of a business. And when you stop to think of the murderous shit that's being done by the United States, you'll adjust. And I don't believe the boyfriend will have any problem, and your girl will adjust. Everybody else has, white and black. And I don't mean adjust because there's a damn gun around here and there's machine guns and that kind of stuff. I don't mean that. I'm talking about adjusted because they see. Finally they see. Doesn't mean that life, everything going to be happy and wonderful and purposeful 24 hours a day. But when you stop to think about this place as opposed to that place, your child could have an accident. Your child could have an accident. That pretty little girl there could have an accident. Where in the hell would they have a love of a father that would get an airplane like you guys come in on, pay that son of a bitch, run it in, have a neurologist there, take the doctor in on it, take him back on it with the patient, take him out of a meeting he was supposed to go to, and have a neurologist ready to fly in and pay $25,000. Now, where in the hell are you going to get that? And I don't know where the next penny's coming in. And I had to give my body to give money. It wasn't communal money. Hell's fire. It wasn't your tithes. I wouldn't have been able to pay the $6 million worth of property here. I wouldn't have been able to pay for the $6 million worth of buildings and developments and hydraulic, the heavy duty. I wouldn't have been able to pay for this shit. Right. Not talking about the central supply. Go look at that and look in the medical department. You look at $100,000 worth of supplies. Not talk about medicines. Talk $250,000 U.S. You're talking nearly $1 million Guyanese right down there. Shit. And we got some money here for several months. They can cut us off all of our checks. They'll give us time to decide who's going to fuck who out there. And I'm old, but by God, I can find some old floozy down the river. I fucked before, I can fuck again. You got some old rich bitches down there don't want to go socialist and got money around their waist. Patty gets it, by God, and Patty isn't what you call the Miss America contest winner, but she sure as hell knows how to get that money, don't she? Every week she comes in here. We have to live on. That's why Tommy and Patty and Ravina are charmers. Every week they come back with $1,000. And we have to have that. And every week those little kids, you saw them going out in the streets. We got a lot of friends in Guyana. You saw Joan, the little black young lady, and you saw Bobby, the little white young man. They make $1,000 a week. That's what the hell it takes. And if you could trust some more of these sons of bitches, we'd eat. We'll eat. Right. Fuck, we'll eat. You bet your ass we'll eat. Nuclear war comes, we'll eat. Any kind of chaos, the world depression they're talking about, like the OECD says that Japan doesn't do something to release their surpluses very damn quick, in West Germany, the whole economic system is going to collapse, and Japan won't do it because it's racist. They won't do it. And so the United States is dollars going down, 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 down. Inflation going up, 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 up. And they're on the verge of a 1929 crash. I hope it comes. Shit, we'll have it made then. Right. I don't want the nuclear war to come till we see everybody out of there that wants a chance at life. But this is life for your children. Don't worry about you and I. You're getting up my age. Don't worry about us. Hell, look at your child. She couldn't have lived in America. She's got to face nuclear war. She got to face nuclear war or famines because they're running out of food. The ecosystem's all fucked up. You saw how the water washed away Los Angeles practically a few weeks ago because they seed the clouds for the rich. Then 2 years of drought because people have messed up the whole weather. The United States is a dying nation. Its cities are dying. Its farmlands are dying. Nebraska, the main food belt, was washed out in these floods. We got land. Wildlife out there. Frogs bigger than a domestic chicken. Right. I just don't like to go eating them, but they get them out. The kids get them out of the well every day. Little Hicks kid, they get him out of the he and his comrade, I don't know who helps him, they get those big frogs, big as a chicken. Right. I just don't like to go eating them. No, they're tasty. I love to eat them. I just kind of have a fondness for the mother, the way they protect their young, because they'll put their mother right on. The mother will ride frogs on their back as big as bullfrogs in the States. Their babies, when they come, are big as bullfrogs, and she fights for them. She'll stand up on her and just fight for those frogs. And we saw one in our well drown, floating her babies. Her babies didn't drown. She drowned floating her babies. Because they're land frogs, and they get in our wells. We got beautiful mineral springs, clean air, shit stuff clears up here. You think U.S. is so great? When you go through your medical exam, we'll see. 19 people have been through medical exams in the States. We found cancer in them. Right. They'd have died if we hadn't got to it and got surgery quick, radiation quick. So there'll be some things that'll be hard for your adjustment. Get the matter out clear. I just want to clear the slate that we say everything directly to our face here. No criticism. Can't say anything behind anybody's back. If you do, you're in trouble. If you want to say anything in town form, you can say it. Say anything to me, you want to write up criticism about how to improve the place, fine, we welcome it. All socialists grow through self-criticism and group criticism. We welcome it. Now, you understand the essence of what I'm talking about. All of you understand it. You're going to live with her and you're going to be peaceful. Where'd she go? Did she leave you already?
Yes, Dad.
We have a little crowded housing. We're sorry about that, but you will have your own space for coupling. We try to keep our children in places where we can give them proper medical health and observe them for a while. We don't have time to build family houses yet, but couples are together. We keep our children under controlled situations so that we can get rid of the diseases. Diseases that we got here? No. Tuberculosis that you brought in with your children from the United States. You wouldn't believe the shit we found that was carried in here. People say worms in the jungle. We got a child here that had tapeworm from the United States that blocked the bowel. If I hadn't have found it in the middle of the night, little Jim Arthur, if I hadn't have found him, he'd have died.
Right.
Blocked with the tapeworms. I just felt a sensation to walk out at 4 o'clock in the morning to where he was, way over there in the field, or he'd have been dead. We've had miracles after miracles, people paralyzed from accidents, not following safety instructions. We got to all be careful about walking now because we're in a cycle of threes about brain injuries, which is a hell of a business. I got a lot on my mind tonight. I got to sit here with a lot on my mind. I don't want to tell you how bad that child, what condition that child's in. I got to set that on my mind and deal with it. This is about how many children we've had blind. I can't be expected to heal everybody. I can't be. I'm a human that feels pain, needs sleep just like the rest of you. I happen to have a scientific socialist faculty that's beyond the normal. And that shouldn't be expected of me. Particular people shouldn't be careless and get me in these messes. Somebody sometime not going to get healed. That child's alive, and I got more to do. I got more to do because the child's blind. You understand? I got more to do. That's one hell of a business because this goddamn shit. But David Goodman was healed. He was blind.
Right.
And who else was blind? Rose was blind. And right here, our sister was blind. Tommy Bikeman was blind. Hell, he was blown to shrapnel practically. Blew him up. Bones twisted and torn and dead. So somehow the consciousness will be there. But I got to sit here worrying because I don't believe in nothing of love in this universe. These kids got their ball equipment in first goddamn day. Their lovely equipment, and the first goddamn day they play, somebody gets them. They get killed. They get killed. I mean, his brain is split open. I'm tired, and my words are not coming out too clearly. But that's a hell of a note. But we're going to have to watch and not get caught up in ourselves. We got to watch our children. We got to watch about who we work around so nobody gets injured. Because you know it's a miracle 1,000 people and nobody dead.
Right.
You know that's a goddamn miracle.
Right.
No child injured or paralyzed or blind yet.
Right.
I mean, yet permanently.
I just wanted to say that people, you know, I know the guys that were playing out there could attest to the fact that, like, I was close to when it happened, and I couldn't follow that bat with my eye. I didn't see it. I didn't even know he lost it until I saw his hands empty. And when I heard it, just sounded like something just thrown up against a brick wall. Should have killed that kid instantly. It should have crushed his head. It was a miracle.
The child should never got to the airport.
That's right. And he wasn't unconscious 1 minute, and he talked to me the whole time. He was never incoherent. He never, you know, he constantly had, you know, use of his faculties, and he talked to me. And another thing I'm grateful for is that the kid was beautiful. And it wasn't for this place, you know, that it wouldn't be possible. And he was just beautiful. He was strong. I mean, he cried from the pain, but goddamn, I mean, he was beautiful. And that, you know, I'm grateful for that, and I'm also grateful for the fact that he's alive.
Don't worry about your children. They'll make it. We who are older have the child. But then when you see your children and think about your children being saved, and 5,000 miles of territory, and all you have to do is walk in that jungle with me. Don't walk out there without me, though, because people get lost. One was lost, an officer, 7 days in there. He was only 1 mile from the outer edges, but he damn near starved to death, because you got to know what you're doing. I have a sixth sense. Please have people raise their hands if they never got their first piece of cake. Snacks and praises will be passed out after meeting in the dining room. Okay, raise your hands. But sometimes somebody will die. That's life, but there's much less likelihood of it here. 11 people in automobile accidents. 11 people in automobile accidents dead who didn't want to come over here. And that could happen in Ukiah, California. That goddamn earthquake could have swallowed you people up in Ukiah. One day one's going to hit it, the big one's going to come. And drugs can reach every child, white, black, and nuclear war.
Like Armando was standing like here, you know, back, and it's like through him. back into Armando. And if it had been like any place else, anybody else, it would have killed him, because just the force of it just slipping out of my hand from the way it went, it should have killed him, and it should have knocked Armando practically down at the time. And while we was going to the airport, taking him to Khartoum, he kept conscious, we kept keeping him conscious. He even spelled his name to us and kept, telling us, leave him, why were we pinching him and everything, and for Dad that, he would be dead right now,
You don't need to tell me about it, I know. I need to hear is you people, when you play ball, is you clear those children, you don't let them be there, you have to turn them in. We can't take this kind of chances. We're going to have to be more cautious than anybody on earth. And don't drop our bats under no circumstances. Yes.
Yeah, Dad, I just wanted to say you already made more appropriately than I could about the children adjusting better than adults to this environment. But I wanted to say that I don't appreciate the statement made that you wanted to check the place out and using your daughter, Brenda, as an excuse. And as I see it, there are 1,000 of us now here, and I think everyone would agree this has been the best thing that's ever happened to us. And as days go by, you'll see it because it's very vivid. You cannot look to your right or left or front or back for what you don't see, the beauty and the absolute miracle of what has been able to be accomplished in the middle of thick jungle. And I really think, if you look deep enough, that we who have allowed ourselves as adults to live in our own selfishness and self-centeredness like to use children rather than facing the fact that we may not want to be the one to grow up, when children grow up much more easily when given the leadership that has been given here by Dad, and when given support, and especially even support from their blood tie, children grow up much better.
Well, your health's in better state. Your chances of life are much better. The water's pure. We've got all kinds of kidney problems from the water back there. We had to clear up the blood pressure. We had 100 people with high blood pressure, that over 100, 108, 109, total normal now. 19 cancers that have been taken care of because we caught them. So you'll be put on medical as soon as, as soon as we possibly can. The doctors in town had a miracle. I guess you all heard about how the doctor got licensed just based on the experience of working over amateur radio. And we got to talk all night on radio. I've got to talk all night, and I don't want to talk all night now, because I've got to talk all night to keep the government from closing down the amateur radio. They came in and sealed it, tried to close it, but they're afraid to do it because we've got a lot of people. And I never did have a secretary talk to me about what I want to put in that letter to these goddamn congressmen. I want a secretary in the radio room. Before I forget it. Yes, Pat.
I just wanted to say something short. I'm not trying to side in with Jerry, but we didn't even know when they were going to leave back there. We just thought they were going to leave any day that they got the word that his papers were in the country. And I'm just almost certain that neither one of us said that. We were just, like coming to check out the place. If someone took that impression, we didn't.
Well, it's easy for people to take that impression. It's easy because there's 70 people in the house and a lot of commotion and pressure.
We did other complaining and groaning and things like that. I
didn't hear nothing about just that fact, the food and that.
I'm almost certain
Excuse me, I want to give an instruction for radio.
I'm an uncle, so I think I ought to speak. Make up your mind that this is a place for you. This is the first time that our black brothers and sisters have peace in their life. Just make up your mind.
Okay, we'll take that word of misunderstanding. I don't know what we're going to do with this woman who claims that you have her child, but she can make her proceedings, and you're not going back anyway. We have an understanding. Believe me, there's a lot of safety here. Anybody can be set up and framed. They tried to frame Debbie Touche, and they tried to frame Tim Swinney and what was his name? Mike Carter. And we said no. And so the government has a healthy respect for us. No, you're not going to take them. We won't honor any court order. We will die first. And they dropped all the proceedings, and they don't come after us with no more of that shit. It's a small country. It's easy to bow. And you'll be set up. Everybody now is under investigation by health, education, and welfare. That's the way the dirty government goes. And if you go back, they put heavy on you like Tim Stone. And when you haven't done anything wrong, they manipulate you till you do. Shut up. Elaine Brown thought she could think and get by. She told on the Panthers, lies, and so forth. Now they've used her and got the Panthers destroyed. You've been there, I don't have to tell you. Synanon, the white cooperative, destroyed. They fled to Mexico. Panther paper, the only decent paper in the United States, destroyed. Just us repeating. Same old TV show. Backs turned to the camera. Synanon was just us repeated. Same old bullshit. But when Mrs. Brown helped destroy the Panthers, she didn't count on when they get through with using a person. When they get through, then they drop them on the rubbish heap. And now they've charged her with murder, because nobody likes a fink. So we have no choice. You're here, you're in a communist movement, they know it. Ain't no choice but to make it go. Because if you went back, they'd nail you with a charge. We've got all kinds of people. Vernetta Christian, Jesus Christ, she never done anything wrong in her life. And they've got her charged with some damn thing in Texas over. Does she look like a criminal? No. The criminals are the ruling class. They set up stuff, and every one of you will have something hanging over you just in case you come back so they can make you talk. And they got you to talk like Tim Stone. Then they make a fool of you. Then finally turn you over or kill you. So you can't win, but standing here in solidarity. So we demand that. Solidarity, cohesiveness, unity, and no talking behind anyone's back. If you've got any improvements, constructive suggestions, we welcome it. Any ideas on how to make this a better place, we welcome it. But we don't want any back talk. And it isn't easy because we're in a warfare state. They've torn up crates. They've got crates blocked. We're 100 crates behind. A lot of supplies we haven't gotten. They keep our checks. They've cut up our mail. And that's why I say we'll have to make a way, and we will. We won't worry. Don't worry. You're going to eat. You'll eat for some months to come. Because I gave my body and did a number of other things, and we've got some money and gold and things hid away. So we're not going to starve in the matter. So that gives us more people. Well, who else knows they're going to have so many months? Who in the hell knows that? You didn't know that when you were living in San Francisco or New Orleans or the UK. You didn't know you were going to have one more goddamn week. You didn't know. You lose your job, you go in the hospital, the damn nurses are hostile. You see all this medical team work. And Rose, how I miraculously saved her when she was blind this week and paralyzed, and all that team working. And then, of course, I had to do it because nothing medical science could do. But see such a miracle as that, and you'll see the care. If you ever go in our clinic and have to be there for any specialization, the 24-hour watching, Jesus horse. You go into a hospital, you may have read when you come out in Detroit, nurses had killed 54 patients in one division. Killed them. So they've been brought to light in the press. How'd they kill them? Not even nice. Not even mercifully. With pillows. Suffocating them because they didn't want to be bothered. That's a hell you live in American medicine. You've been in a hospital. You know how cold they are, how indifferent they are. Don't give a shit. 1 out of 3 patients get the wrong medicine. Half the surgeries have been unnecessary. That's true. Even the Reader's Digest admits that. So I think we've got much to be grateful for and work on it. We talk about 3 gratitudes, any other thing they should be told. Don't waste water, please. We're one of the few places in the world that have clean water. Can't even drink the water in California now. In the lower part, they have to boil every bit of it because the graveyards have washed into the main water tributaries. Orientation, you have a day off, then you decide what phase of work you'll be in after tomorrow. Don't play with mugs. Don't get near the chimpanzee. Yes, he said, no male. Nobody get near the chimpanzee. He's nice if we need to turn him loose on our enemies, but he ain't you don't go inside there. Nobody. If you do, you'll be dealt with because he can tear your arm off. Stephen says, and then feed it to you. Tear it off and then feed it to you. Shift, please. Any question, any important thing they need to know right now? Yes, Teacher Turner? Yeah, please do that, gentlemen. Sit down when you use the restroom. We don't have diseases and gastroenteritis, and a lot of you people had Russian flu that closed the schools. We had it under control in no time. Peace. But we want to be careful. Wash our hands after the toilets. And we're having trouble. They've blocked up our soap, a number of things, but we'll get through. We'll get through. But wash still. We still say wash after every bathroom. Be careful to put your mouth on the electric refrigerator water, the cold water fountain. Use certain sanitary measures. Protect the property like it's your property. 30 miles around, it is people's property. And that's something to think about. And the only place, remember anthropologist Mead said the only place that would survive was this part of the world. I told you that just after I decided that. They'd done a study and found this is the only place that had this mineral strength water, the food, and the sufficiency for survival. Anthropologist, the most famous in the world, came up with that. Okay? Okay.
Thank you, Dad.
Give them. Have they had their cake? Have you had their cake, you people? Okay. Okay, be seated. Now we have learning crew if you get into difficulty. We don't believe in boxing, hitting, and smacking. It's rarely that takes place. We believe in reasoning. If reasoning doesn't work, there's what we call learning. Jeff Carey has been, there's isolation. You go into psychological isolation, which one gets deprogrammed from the brainwashing of the system that has really got a hold of some people. But if you keep rules, there's no problem. The rules are not that hard. We are working harder than we want to. We're more crowded than we want to be, but they've tied up monies and things, and we ought to be thankful we got all you want to eat. You can, whatever we do have, you can eat what you want unless you're overweight to the danger to your health. Jeff Carey, second time 15 days in learning. In isolation for a week. Thursday, good fast worker. When asked if he had a problem with his ears, he went into a discussion how he did and why. When told to shut up, he replied, well, you wanted to know. He still is a smart ass. Friday, good fast worker on peanuts. Did an accurate job, went to sleep in socialism class and cried, tried to deny it. Very defensive person, big manipulator. Saturday, slow but does things accurately. Too accurate, supervisor thinks. Caused problem at Woodpile this PM. Told Garnett to shut up. When is this? That wasn't a supervisor. This was already past present. What about the day? This is Sunday. One day past? We had a meeting yesterday?
Yes.
Oh, God.
We didn't deal with that. But his particular topic was brought up.
Yeah, he told on himself. Yeah. I see. Well, I know we're going to have learning crew next to people's rally, but we're in this rally, so why the hell don't we get some of them off or on or whatever? What is the situation? What is the situation today? I didn't hear you.
He's had a very good attitude today, Dad, and he's been...
Nat Sweeney doing what?
They was working on these ramps here, and
yes, we want to pick them from New Falls.
He worked real good, and so did Laura and Marvin. They all three worked real good.
Very well. Are you still working at it? How long have you been working at it? Are you finished?
Almost. We got the back part of the back there to do, but all four of these ramps are through.
Laura Marvin. Well, let me see. don't see a report on Marvin. Where is it, Christine? It's probably here, and I'm just missing it. Third 5 days, 1 day, good worker, good attitude, keeps his mouth shut, fast worker, good attitude, slow worker while shoveling dirt at the piggery. Well, we all should try to increase our work out of a deep desire to do so. Gennaro will go with you tomorrow. Where does Gennaro go back? He goes back to the bakery? Where does Carrie go?
I was on the night crew in the kitchen, but I don't know if it's...
What about the night crew in the kitchen? Kitchen, please. She said yes. You want him back?
Do you want him back, V?
Fine.
Some of these people that are uncertain about where they want folks, we can still create this overload crew, which we are creating today.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, Laura Johnson, where did she go? Jan's crew.
She's working under Ruthie Quinn.
We're under Ruthie Quinn. Good. She's shown a good spirit. You're not going to have any more trouble while we... by the way, Jeff? We appreciate it. We'd like your mind working with us.
Yes, I'm going to improve, and I was talking to Tom, and we talked about it today, you know, and I said I still have some attitude problems, and he said, well,
Jeff, can you just work them out, though?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Please?
I'm working them out.
Okay.
Walter Williams. Don't like to be told enough what to do, Walter. Now, you were paralyzed, and if I hadn't told you what to do and healed you when your spinal fluid was coming out of your mouth, you wouldn't have lived. Now, you're going to have to know that we all give and take orders. Remember what I told you last night? I take orders 24 hours a day. The orders of the people. When I was ready, hoping I could drop down in bed after being up all night with that goddamn radio and all day, then came that accident, and I didn't get a chance. So I'm under orders. I'm in a worse restricted sense than you'll ever be. Right. I'm under constant orders. I don't like being here tonight. I want to pee. I need to pee, but I don't want to take away from the people who I'd like for them to get a late movie or a chance to do whatever they're going to do. I'd like to get over with. So I endure the pain and the headache that's always with me for my blood condition, blood sugar. So I'm under orders. I'm in difficulty. This is not what I want to do tonight. Are you going to change that, son? Where do you go? Wood chopper, fine. Wood crew. What's this? Recipe brew, yes.
When Laura got off the crew, that she was supposed to stay on and help with the learning crew.
Well, there's no objection. You may be wrong, you may be right. I don't remember, to be candid. I think she's got a lot of potential myself, personally. And her child needs to realize that I give a lot of criticism to people who can take it. She's done a lot of good things, too. So, if you go back with Ruthie? Yes, fine. Step up the pace. Anybody else here that should be taken off that I do not see? Kenny Reed. No, not enough days. Fourth time. Worked hard, good attitude, but your mouth's not quite controlled. So try to get it by Tuesday control, will you, son? We'll see what happens on Tuesday. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. Some of these other cases, I think you're going to have to be, I think there's some dangers of people being in isolation. Tracy Stone is bordering on it. For harassing other people and teasing, we don't buy that. I don't hear K. Roses, do I? I really don't hear K. Roses. Hey, some people don't know nothing but the barrel of a gun. That's all they know. How the rest of you, sweethearts? I haven't had a chance to greet you. I'm glad to have you home in the promised land. Get it.
He ain't as rough as that green boy. He's big.
It seems that she has to have a certain type of treatment every so often. Because Kay, I think, thinks that she's a descendant of the Queen of England. I don't know what her problem is. Fell on the ground, ranted and raved. Refused to work, said she wouldn't go, got very mad, threw herself on the ground, ranted and raged. Supervisor had to go anyway and call Bonnie Simon. She's now had to, then she had to be confined to dorm and going to have to, her and Penny are going to sleep tonight in the cellars with the bats and the bugs and the snakes. What's that?
She had to go to work in the kitchen instead, Dad. She had a change of attitude, but then she got smart a little bit again today.
I don't know about the day. This is too much. I ain't dealing with this.
Yeah. This way.
Come on, hush up, hush up. Not over yet. Hush up. Now this is dumb shit, Kate. You come up here, dumb as owl shit, every other week, taking up our goddamn time, and we have to look at your silly ass. And it's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. Because there's some people that have more to do than just sit here. And I mean, namely our leader. Namely our leader. He could be doing more to do creative strategies and other business rather than sitting here dilly-dallying with you.
I really do. I thank you. He gave my sentiments. I appreciate his leadership. He gave my sentiments. It's a goddamn shame. I can't eat cake because I got to think of the welfare of you people because I put on weight. I put it on so badly, so easily these days. I can't fuck and do it in good conscience. And I'm a son of a bitch. Some of you people play around and you see your goddamn face every Sunday night. Now, some people might have liked to watch the Technicolor movie or did some reading or a little chatting or a little dance. They got to look at you. We ought to dance on your fucking head. What comes with you, woman? You start this bullshit again. You know you're not going to get by with this bullshit.
Dad.
You haven't been you haven't been in no isolation chamber yet.
Dad.
Mark her down and don't even bother to talk to her. We're sick of it. Dad, what?
Dad, last night when I
got that great goddamn big snake that can kill her in one damn ring. You get that son of a bitch. That's the only thing she understands, that damn snake.
Come on, hush up!
What you want to say? before the snake sees you.
Dad, last night when I got up and said that I wasn't cooperative, that's when I was telling on myself, and I said that's why I went.
Oh, bullshit.
That's what I said last night.
You were caught.
What you said when you stood up, you said was, Dad, I did a little something wrong today, and do you think that the supervisors of the dorm, one can make up a list of my duties for me? And I'd already told you that just to take an hour a day to make up your bed and help clean around the dorm and everything, that's what I'd asked you to do. It was very simple, and you don't do that much, and you'd refuse to do it, Kay. And when I told you to go home and do your work, you said, I'm not going. And you also said that I couldn't make you go. And you got very
Linda
smart.
Robinson, you're in trouble if you don't stop this harassing. The number of people I'm calling will be in the isolation chamber. Mark Rhodes, Wayne McCall. He's adamant, won't do what he's told to do, huh? Better wake him up and tell him what's coming. He ain't gonna have all this bullshit. Irvin Perkins, after we had that terrible accident of death of this child and revival, no heart, no pulse, nothing. Where the child was, couldn't even get a damn pulse beat. They're talking about the first. Then the blood pressure way up there should have blown the brain till it couldn't have ever functioned, to use a common term that you'd understand. Child couldn't stand that kind of blood pressure.
So then, Dad, she said I couldn't make her go.
Who threw this rock? Who threw this rock? Irvin Perkins and who else? Ricardo. Get him on learning. I'm going to talk to him. We don't throw rocks. We don't hit people. Right on learning.
Ricardo.
I love them. We can't. We're going to take all night with this bullshit. What other problem is there?
That was just that.
No, there was something that Christine had. She may have given it to me already. I don't know. Yes, she did. Warnings. Bertha Smith complained a lot about the toast not browning well on both sides. Hey, you goddamn people. People starving to death. She was told that the toasters are not working well. She kept complaining. One of the Greens said yesterday, if you all keep feeding me like this, and where's she going? Where's she going?
Finished? She's not finished?
Who in the hell? I ain't finished with her face. She got me pissed. If you keep feeding me like this, I'm going to work like I'm fed. Give me a little food and I'll do a little work. She's a diabetic and trying to get sugar constantly. Why do you do this? Why in the hell did you understand we're trying to put you on diet? Why do you do this? She had a warning. Irma Winfrey, she's diabetic, also got sugar for her tea, taking advantage of the new special diet server. Claudia Bouquet, many people try to take advantage of Claudia. Claudia, you're going to have to, don't let them take that sugar. That kills them, puts them in a bad state of health. I've gotten some 30, 40 people off of insulin. What the hell, you want to die with diabetes? You go blind? That's a smart-ass remark to make, Juanita.
I don't even remember.
You never do. If you all keep feeding me like this, I am going to work like I'm fed. Give me a little food and I'll do a little work. Put a trip hammer on your mouth. Dessa Jordan.
You see it.
Okay. Give it to her. Give it to her. Give it to her. I'm sick of this shit. Let her deal with the motherfucker. If he wants to choke her to death, that's his business tonight. I'm tired of it.
You said the same thing the last time. So this is the next.
Turn around, look at the people. Turn around, look at the people. Talk to them. See if they want to get the snake off your back.
I apologize. I promise I won't do it again.
promise I won't do it again. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. I won't do it again. I'm married again.
Nothing else works for this woman. This only lasts 6-7 days. If we fed it to her, maybe that might work. I don't know. Okay. Turn around. Turn around. What's this?
Thank you, Dad.
Now, I mean, Kay, I don't know why you think you can put us through this every night. He about got you that time, didn't he?
Yes, Dad. I'm sorry. Thank you.
You haven't seen nothing yet. You know how long he gonna be? About 37.5 feet long. He's just a baby. That's what's out there.
She keeps on, she'll be snake food before then.
Hi, you old sweet fellow. I like him. The more I see these fuckers, the more I like them. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that grip. That's a grip. You're a good guy. Boy, they love that snake dance. She went through the snake dance in Georgetown. Fantastic. She went fantastic. The snake danced with her. Head was out dancing with her. Oh, what do you do? Shit on her? Wouldn't you know it? You would shit on me. Everybody else does. Why didn't you shit on her? God damn it. You huh?
He's shedding his skin. He stinks bad.
I know, but why didn't he shit on her?
Shit on me, too.
You little fart. What's the matter with you, woman? You keep taking up our time.
Speak up. I won't do it anymore, Dad. I'll think.
You're scared to death? I don't know how anybody that's just so scared of life and death and snakes and bugs and every other shit and thing, why don't you behave? Hell, you're so scared of everything. Tiger? That's what we need to do. Fucking Tiger hadn't been fed tonight. Take her out to Tiger. He's a very gentle snake. He has never offered to squeeze anybody but her, and I don't blame him. He won't do it. You can't make him squeeze. He's just very gentle. But he'll be 37 feet long. He'll be impressive if Stone comes. Stone ain't coming. Stone ain't coming. He ain't got the gall. Well, now these two on the learning, and what about you? If you get one twice in a month, that's it. Why don't you quit? I don't like to see seniors go on learning even for the night. I don't like to see you do this, but you're going to have to go. We're going to have to go for a day. We're going to have to go for a day. You can't put learnings. You got big mouth, Juanita. What's that?
They said salute. I said thank you, Dad.
So they said salute. You know how to salute.
Just because we said? No, I had did it before they asked.
Okay. Step to learning, dear. Keep a good attitude. You'll be there the next day, because I never thought I'd have to see seniors in the learning department. Better than thumping on people. I don't like to see violence. What's this? I can't. What'd you say, Annie? What'd you say, Annie?
You're real nice and kind to us, and you take advantage of it. Put all our ways without that let us stay. That we do better.
I'm sure on one 24 hours all the days of my life. All the days. God, I'd love, and learning would be easy for me. Desi Jordan points out while sitting in the pavilion watching the movie, she saw Desi spit on the ground. We kept down disease, you know better than that. She called her to her and told her that it was the third time she had seen her spit on the ground in the community. She must stop it. Should stop it, rather. Desi got mad, said, "Why do you have to be around every time I spit on the ground?" I expect there's only one Desi Jordan. Okay, why?
It happened each time it was emergency. First time it happened, I had a sick
It's an
stomach.
emergency.
So far as I had emergency, and when I eat something fat, it comes right back up, and I couldn't run out wherever I was. And she called my hand.
Why don't you carry some kind of paper?
I should.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, and I said thank you. And the next time I was at home.
Hell, you know you're spitting up. What do you know? That's what I mean. All these people come to the United States with tuberculosis. What the hell do you know? You're spitting up.
What?
You should have been grateful to a professional nurse telling you. That's all. You only had one warning. I've had no trouble with you, Desi.
I thought I was grateful. I told her I'd talk to her.
No, I
later.
said, but you ought to take it and say thank you. You shouldn't spit on that ground. You don't know what's causing you to spit up till we get full, thorough study back on you. Don't defend that. Don't defend that. Okay.
Thank you.
She don't have one warning. That's only one warning. Billy Jones in bed at 10 o'clock. He gave the return to work slip to his supervisor benefits. Had no idea where he was. Warning. Unless it's anything else, I don't know. Burl Wilson, Deetra Green, Clarence Kleeman were walking around quite a bit. Clarence was also a half hour late to work. Yolanda Brown, Jared Baker were working very slow. Attitudes and negativity were so bad in the crew that Lee Ingram and Jan Woolsey had to come out in the field and warn this crew about it. Who's had one? How long ago? 14th this month? Billy goes to learning. Where's Billy? Where's he at? Been one of our models. Now you're going to start your declension? Somebody said he's the fastest worker on the crew. Was there praise for that? Who's the crew person?
Supervisor, he works good. He works good most of the time. He doesn't work steady. Like I have to watch him sometimes because he'll goof off. But he does work. And that morning, he was sort of goofing off. He could have been at work and found him at home, and he hadn't told me where he was. I didn't have any idea.
I'm not kidding with you. Praise or no praise. You got to praise, cancel out the good, the bad. You get another chance. But I'm not kidding with you. I don't care whether you get praise the next time. It's learning.
Sorry, Dad. I don't know what happened no more.
I hope not, because you were one of our models. Citrus Crew, Joyce Polk, working slow. Toby Mendonji, Mendonji, doing a lot of, I like the name, I'll have to get it down here. Thank you, Mendonji, doing a lot of standing around. Wood Crew, Ben Robinson, David George were working steady. The rest of the crew were watching them. Well, now who's that? Who's the rest of the crew? Ben Robinson came where he came from. It's a miracle what he did. That's amazing. Some of these people were surly on the way to jail and come over here from jail. He's doing this fine example, Ben Robinson. Fine example. That's what this community does. Structure builds character and changes people. What about the rest of you, chaps? Hey, man, you ought to be up here as a model all the time. What do the rest of you?
Dad, we was working.
Now, I got observers on SAT, Security Patrol, and others, and you were not working as you should have been. Not like these, not like Ben, was working, and not like David George, our Amerindian lad that we adopted.
Dad.
He never complained. We never going to complain about him. He never was spoiled by Yankee imperialism.
Dad, when we walked down there, we was observing them. We hid behind the bushes and we was watching them. And David George was cutting with the saw, and Ben, whatever he would cut, Ben would get his axe and chop it. And they was standing there. They could have took the wood and started carrying it out, but when they noticed us, then they started carrying the wood out, passing it to each other. They stood there almost 15 minutes not doing nothing.
Yeah.
Dad, excuse me. Dad, we were carrying. We had to wait for Ben to cut the wood in order to carry the wood out. And I was in the back area with Ben, and Chris was in the back area with us. And after Ben cut the wood, we would carry it out.
Who all's on this crew? What about this, Ben?
At that particular time, Dad, they were working. They did have to wait on me, but I do have problems with Chris, Willie, and Tommy. I have to stay on them because if I don't, it won't work.
I was wondering about this chap because he always was good.
Larry, since he's been here, he's been busting his ass. I had no problem at all.
Yeah, I can. Well, now listen. I don't know what about you three. You two, particularly, been on the learning, off the learning, on the learning, off the learning, and you practically brought us all to hell. I don't want to do with you. Anybody got an idea? Now let's try to get. We have tomorrow night for the movies won't be in the new movies won't be in tomorrow night. Let's try to whatever so many people can have a rest or steering on Tuesday and a meeting on Wednesday. Let us hope that. Get a little break here because of this. We not don't. Sunday's our day off, for Christ's sake. Look at this. How much more do you want to cause us? Can't you work?
Yes, Dad, I can.
Do you feel any responsibility for people back there like Robin and Leona and Alice and Jean Brown? Don't you feel any responsibility for those people?
Yes.
Robin gets run over by a goddamn car, maybe on purpose. Miraculously, nothing harmed her. I protected her. What the hell was you? You've been here all these. You were on your way to jail. Half this goddamn place I bailed out of jail, risk going to jail, getting you out. You were on your way. Drugs, everything else, and cause what that shit you caused us here.
Yes, Dad.
Would you straighten your ass up? Get your shit together.
Yes, Dad. What he's supposed to talk about is what's happening is like he'll see me do something, instead of just going straight there and back, I'll go off and do something else and waste my time getting back.
Well, why do you do it? He did. What's this black man working for this place and you not? He came here in a hell of a way, and he's taking on a responsibility. I couldn't stand it. Life's so miserable for me. I couldn't stand it. If it wasn't for a few people that'll take on responsibilities and care. And really care. Some of you goof-offs are impossible. Some of the people have been transformed like angels, changed. What the hell your problem is? Who's blowing wind up your ass? Are you in a relationship?
No, I'm not, Dad.
Girls you like, hang around talking.
Like, what's mostly happening is like, I don't feel like I can really keep up with the crew itself, so that's why I just mostly goof off and try to stay away from it.
I disagree that time because you can cut a tree down and bust up the wood just as fast as anybody out there. I mean, to me, I think that you think you're better. And plus, when I seen you do things, just like I saw you talking to Tina the other day, instead of going straight up there and coming back, fuck off.
That's true.
Using that as a cop-out and manipulation by saying you don't feel that you can keep up with the rest of the workers because nobody's asked to do anything that they can't do. And so why don't you just say that you're an ass like everybody else, and why don't you get your stuff together?
That's true. I am an ass, and I should just go straight to learning instead of just dragging this on.
Learning obviously ain't helping you any. It's obvious, Tommy, you've been on learning so many times that learning's not helping you. I ask you every goddamn day if you've been doing your work, if you're getting back to work on time. Yes, I'm getting back to work on time. I'm doing my work, and it's obvious you've just been lying to me. I think you should stay away from me for at least a month. I think you should not talk to me or do anything for a month. I think you should stay on learning for a month. Maybe you should even go into isolation for a week.
I agree with that, because isolation's one thing that I haven't been on yet as a discipline and everything, so yeah, I should just try it.
Why do you have to go to isolation? Why can't you just straighten up? Why do you got to go to learning? Why do you got to do all this other kind of stuff? Why can't you just straighten up? And do your goddamn work. Dad's done enough for your ass. He's got you out of jail 3 times, Tommy. He's saved your life 3 times. He's kept you from getting shot by the cops 3 times, Tommy. Don't you have any gratitude at all? I'm really tired of you. You could be dead now from drugs. You could be dead from being shot by the cops 3 times. You could be back in the bourgeois society with your dad's parents, and you would be dead if you were back there with them, because they don't like you, they don't like us, and you know you'd be dead.
What I was going to say is I think the main problem he has with getting it is the example that's set for him in the crew, you know. Now, Ben, I've been out in the bush where they've been working pretty much daily. They don't usually see me out there, but Ben, I have no complaints with Ben's work. I mean, that was good. But as for busting ass, I don't think anybody's busting ass. And I think there's a big problem with ego. I think he may have a point, because there's a big ego conflict out there I've noticed with you guys. You know, you guys compete with each other instead of working together, you know. And I know you guys know what I mean about cutting down trees, who can do it the fastest and everything, you know. And I've heard a few remarks about me out there, you know, about axes and things like this, you know. And I don't personally appreciate it, and I think that's an ego conflict with me. But nobody's busting ass. And I went out there, and I think you guys saw me that day, and you guys were sitting. And that's just not a good example. And I think it's just a big competitive thing. You guys don't want nobody to tell you nothing. There could be a lot you could be told about how to cut down trees, how to not, you know, there's a lot of things you guys could be told if you're willing to do it and quit swagging around here.
A lot of axe handles would be broken too if they use them right.
That's right. I wanted to mention that. That's just a point for everybody. When you guys put your axe in, instead of knocking it forward and getting it out, you pry the thing out. I saw when you were splitting wood, use the head to pry the thing open. And you guys, you're going to keep breaking axe handles if you do that. And you guys won't let nobody tell you nothing. I just get that. I've never tried, but I know how it would be handled if I think if I went up there and tried. Just by the way, he doesn't swagger. And Ben's friendly. Ben's been friendly to me. But there's other guys that just swagger around there like they're, you know, really tough shit. And I don't think that's any way to handle yourselves.
I think one solution, and I was just talking to Ben about it a second ago, would be to divide your crew up, have Chris or Gerald, when he comes back, take one part of the crew, and Ben take another part of the crew, and go. I mean, there's wood all over here. There can Wesley cutting up wood. Somebody else can be using a cross-cut saw, trying wood someplace else, and then somebody can start busting it up after cut with a cross-cut saw. You don't have to wait for the chainsaw, which sometimes fails, and the clutch might burn out, or whatever happens mechanically. But you don't always have to depend on the chainsaw to get you quick. You use a cross-cut saw. And the person older than you here, Tim Swinney and Jim Morrell down at Hickory, use a cross-cut saw to cut wood for our corral. So you guys can do that to cut wood.
And you guys have got plenty of guys. I mean, you've got plenty of guys to put your job out, because I've seen you guys, you don't have a job half of the time, you know. Ben's usually the one in there that he's in on usually every job, but a lot of you guys don't have a job. And if you had a cross-cut saw, maybe you'd all have a job. And plus, it would free the chainsaws. You know, chainsaws are needed for getting our lumber out. That's all. We have to use the chainsaws to get the lumber. I mean, we can't use a cross-cut saw. So I think that ought to be done.
What about it?
You got cross-cut stuff. They can get some in the morning, Dad. Okay.
Okay. Need to say wherever we can. What about the warnings here? Who had a warning?
Chris had one. They're both standing around during the work hours. And Tommy had one also on the third. He leaves work without supervisor. They not.
Is there a month apart or what?
Armsat, can we get can we get a person relieved? I wonder if Laurie, I know she could be, Laurie might not be wise Laura did go into, Laura went into learning, and somebody would be relieved to watch these chaps, to back them up, and they will be there on learning, and then they will go from there to back to all three on learning, or you violated 2 rules. But it's very difficult to move people who can be put in their place. It's not with all the people in town. It makes it difficult to switch jobs. What is it?
I could be one of them if they're willing to give me a job change on the field.
Where are you at?
In the fields right now. Miscreants crew.
By the way, all the people, since there's a complaint by observers, since the people have been in town, that the entire general observation, the field crews, have not been doing their job since Jan Wilson and others left for Georgetown. This better change tomorrow. That's bad. The people in there doing their task, and you let down on our food production. That's bad. They better all change. All field crews. Did you hear? What about his supervisor? Can he be shifted?
Who's your supervisor?
Luther Quinn? She said yes.
I don't know. Every time I see him, I can only go where they see it. He's always got a good, healthy sweat going. He always looks like he's doing something. So that may be what they need.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
Yes, Dad.
Can we lose one of your members on the crew?
Laura Hubbard.
Well, I don't know about that. We were thinking if Laura went into supervision, we could release somebody to put them on, but that may change. Laura may just go on back with you. As the time I was trying to get more supervision, she can go back with you. She goes back with you. Can you lose this chap here?
Yes, Dad, because he want to go in livestock, and he's a very good worker. And if he get in there with what's his name?
Okay.
Yes,
you go
I
there
can
now.
lose
What the rest of these go? Can you get along without the other? If you got one good man, get these 3 go into the.
Yes, Dad. I like to say we can cut down on the crew if we had the people that would be there all day. The main problem is that like half our work goes down because they go to school in the afternoon, and that leaves 2 or 3 people out there.
Well, you got him, and those 3 are in learning. And who else? Who else? You're sorry that the cat almost got you, I know.
I'm sorry. Dad, thank you for going to get me, Dad.
What's that?
I'm sorry. Thank you for going to get off me, Dad.
Talk right, Kay.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Thank you for calling the cat off me. And I'm sorry, Dad. Thank you, Dad.
I'm surprised the cat would get close to you.
Dad.
You better quit
Christine, she comes up with some good ones. That's a live one, Christine. She said you could use your act in Georgetown. They wouldn't believe it. They said it's an act. You're outrageous. I don't know what to do with you.
Smile, Kay. Smile.
Turn around. Turn around and smile. You hear what I'm saying to you? You hear what I'm saying to you? I want you to do that smile all the time. Go there and smile at Jerry. He don't smile enough. Go in and give him a smile. That'll make anybody smile. Jerry, you do well. You do well. You're swinging with the spirit of things. Give him one praise for any criticism. To kiss that, give him a praise. Okay. The rest of you go. She'd be nice looking if she wasn't so damn ornery. I guess now. Do you have any other? Well, who is it? All three of these in school? Is that what you're saying, Ben?
Yes, Dad.
It's a damn shame, your minds, and you're wasting now on learning and no time for school. It's a damn shame. But learning it is. Who is any other person relieved? Who else over there on learning? Kenny Reed's not a hard worker. I'll give you a chance to get off, even though you got to get in that work and work hard, Kenny. Are you in school? Ah, shit. Well, anyway, off. I'll give you off, and that'll help. 1.5. Who else is on learning there? The rest of go while you guys are ahead. Go. We're getting tired. Just damn late hour. Jackie Rochelle was assigned to the rice tent due to a medical excuse. Medical department informed SAT Patrol that she was cleared to return to work on the fields. She reluctantly returned to the fields, but after 1 hour, she returned to the medical department for pain medication. This pain medication is expensive, children. Reported she had been working in the rice tent as assigned by the medical department. Now, what the hell's going on? Damn it, to get this through. Joe Johnson found in bed at 10:30 without a medical excuse. SAT escorted him to nurses' station where he was told to go back to the fields. His work was slow after returning. Where is it? Hey, Joe Johnson.
Yes, Dad, he did that. They excused him for an hour and a half, and he